head coach Mark Martinez beginning his third year as the head coach. I believe 12 total years at San Diego State. Mark joins me now. Hey, man, good to talk to you.
Great to talk to you again. How are you doing?
Oh, fantastic.
Well, good.
It's baseball season, man.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Of course, you know it's baseball season because the weather has definitely changed.
How often does that play? You guys were making plans to be changing all week. How often do you have to do that here?
Not very often. As you know, we definitely live in a bubble. And, the one thing in the last month since we came back from, holiday break is we've gotten very adept and very astute at pulling the tarp on and off the field. In fact, I told our guys the other day is that I think the tarp pulling rankings came out just last week, and we were tied for first with Seattle University, so we feel real good about that ranking.
Huge upset because you don't ever get to use it. And for people who don't know, college baseball, the players are basically, and I don't want to take this away because you do have people that take care of the field, but the college players take care of the field. They're the grounds crew.
Absolutely. Yeah, we take great pride in it. Our guys do a great job, and it was funny because even going into Christmas break, I said, guys, just be ready. It's going to be a wet spring. Get your minds right. We have to be one of the best tarp guys, tarp teams in the country, and they kind of took it upon, themselves to have a challenge to it. Even early part of the, early spring workouts, we had to pull the tarp in order to practice, and they got real good at it, and our seniors kind of take control of it. And, we got, 35 guys working together to kind of get it on and off in a timely fashion and not mess the field up too much.
Talking with Mark Martinez, baseball coach at San Diego State. Mark, I want to get into your schedule coming up and obviously the Tony Gwynn Classic. Let's talk about this past weekend. You guys are 2-1, took 2 of 3 from Pacific. Let's couple that, since we haven't talked yet this year, with a little bit of a season preview. What did you learn about your Aztecs team from this series?
Well, I think, kind of going in, we knew that, we felt like we're going to have really good starting pitching. Our back end of the bullpen is pretty darn solid. And we kind of knew that going in. I think we upgraded our offense. We're a little more physical. And we knew we were going to play really good defense. So, kind of going in, those are some of the boxes we kind of felt we had to check in order to kind of start the season off on a great note. And really, we got really good starting pitching on Friday night with Brett Seaberger, senior, here from Vista. And yesterday, Dominic Capura, who's a transfer from Orange Coast Community College, is a senior as well, pitched exceptional. Both of them did a very good job. And Harrison Pyatt ran into a little bit of trouble early in the game, gave up some free bases, and the guy we were facing is exceptionally good. And Will Leiden, and he was kind of given a 3-run lead in the first. We just made some mistakes. We walked 2 guys, hit a batter, and when you do those kinds of things, it always finds a way to bite you. And of course, they come up and we get a big strikeout with 1 out, make it 2 outs. Next guy kind of dumps one in right field for a double and scores 2 runs, and they end up scoring 3 runs. And the guy we're facing, he's up to 95 with some heavy sink to it and a good slider, and he kept us off balance. He pitched very comfortable. So, but I was really proud of how we pitched, on the front end of the series and on the back end of the series, and our bullpen, I think it is as billed. So we have a really nice bullpen. So that's kind of comforting to know going into the season. As long as we're healthy, we kind of feel like we can hand it off to some guys on the backside to kind of finish games.
Hey, we hear a lot about this. We're talking with Mark Martinez, baseball coach at San Diego State, in the majors, and some teams, very open about how they've gone to where they're lengthening out their bullpen. Just get me to the 6th. We'll take care of it from there. Are we seeing more of that in college?
Oh, absolutely. It's filtered in that. And the other part of that, too, is that, as long as I've been coaching baseball too, we're not in the business of, ruining kids' careers, so we're very careful with the workload that we put on our kids, especially in the starting role. The 100 pitch count is definitely one of those things that it is a landmark. You get to those, you get near 100, the bullpen is cranked up. And, it's very rare to have a guy go, 120 or 110, starting unless, it's a one hitter, he has a chance for a no hitter, maybe a shutout. So that does mean that you have to have some guys, really that can kind of fill in the sixth or, the seventh, eighth, and ninth inning. And we really feel good about, we have 5 or 6 guys in the bullpen that can kind of, share those duties with some matchups in the seventh inning, righty lefty, and then Jorge Fernandez, who's a transfer from San Jack in Houston, can kind of pitch the ninth, and C.J. Saylor is a fifth-year senior that closed for us 2 years ago when we went to the regional in Lake Elsinore. He's gonna, he's been in kind of our closer right now, so we feel real good about where we are there, and we kind of ask our starting pitching, hey, get us through the fifth. The sixth might be a bonus, and we'll kind of hand it off to those guys in the backside.
Mark, look, you mentioned facing a really good pitcher in there, and in baseball, a lot of times that's all it takes to shut a team down. I don't know where Pacific figures in the WCC. This isn't denigrating them, but let's be honest, man, you got a week coming up here at UC Irvine, at Cal State Fullerton. You've got the Tony Gwynn Classic coming up. This week is something.
It is, and again, it's more of a commitment to, scheduling, kind of on a national scale to put us in position if we don't, happen to win a conference tournament or, those kinds of things that, hopefully, upgrade the schedule RPI-wise in order to put ourselves in a position for an at-large. And so, right out of the gate, we did bite off a huge chunk, with Irvine and, going up to Fullerton, who just came off a, 2 out of 3 weekend against a, 20th ranked Stanford team. And, Irvine's always been a, perennially power in the, the Big West. And so we go ahead and do those 2 games Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we go ahead and start, we play Tennessee on Friday night. So it's an exciting week for us. It has some national flavor to it as far as, the RPI rankings and national rankings go, and we'll know a lot more about our club come Sunday evening.
Nice. Let's talk about the Tony Gwynn Classic, and obviously it's important to you. And I'm wondering, it's in its second year. And first, let me tell folks, I believe Seton Hall, Tennessee, kick things off at Tony Gwynn Stadium on Friday at 1. You play Tennessee Saturday at 6, Seton Hall on Friday at 6, Seton Hall on Saturday in the afternoon. There's also a component over at Fowler Park, USD, Oregon, UC Irvine, and Notre Dame. Those are the 7 teams. So there, people know who's in it, what it is. There was some really good programs. But Mark, you worked under Tony for 9 years. You guys did this to honor him. Tell me about the tournament.
Well, I'm so proud to say that, college baseball, across the country has just stepped up to, honor, our head coach, at San Diego State, obviously a great San Diegan, Mr. Padre. And what's really neat about it is, teams from all over the country are, knocking on the door to come to this tournament, and it's still through 2019. You have the likes of this field is exceptionally good. In the years to come, you have, the Arkansas and the Vanderbilts and those types of teams that are coming, to play in the Tony Gwynn Classic. And really, what's neat about it is that, 18 to, 22-year-old guys, know of Tony Gwynn, the Hall of Famer. But what's really neat about the tournament, they're going to have an opportunity to kind of get a feel for what kind of man, Tony was and still is. His legacy is going to live forever here in the city. And to kind of pass that legacy on to, people, from Tennessee and from Notre Dame and Oregon is really special. And I'm so honored to just be a part of it. It's just a great way to honor, Tony and what he's done for, San Diego State, the city of San Diego, and obviously the San Diego Padres. And so we're excited. We hope to have this tournament, forever. And we've had a lot of people, a lot of moving parts putting it together. Alicia and Anthony Jr. and Chris Gwynn, all of them are, deeply involved in the process of putting together the tournament. Dave Oster from Lake Elsinore Storm has done a phenomenal job stepping in and helping us organize it. And Jack Murray over at USD and Coach John Cunningham have done just a wonderful job of, putting together a solid tournament, and hopefully we'll get some national recognition from it.
That's very cool, man. That's why I wanted to let you say it, because that's fantastic. Plus, you get to play some really good teams.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's why we're doing it too. We have some marquee matchups, and as the tournament kind of, filters through the weekend, you're looking at, some great matchups on Sunday. It's kind of re-brackets and the whole deal, and we have a championship game on Sunday, and you're looking at some really marquee, games, even throughout the entire weekend. And, some teams hungry to kind of, hoist that Tony Gwynn Classic trophy at the end as well.
So there's a trophy.
Yes, sir.
Right on. So here's what we got. We got games at Tony Gwynn Stadium and Fowler Park, 2 on Friday, 1 at each on Saturday, I believe, and then Sunday, the championship game, Tony Gwynn Stadium.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
So looking forward to that. And, and I know that there are 2 games at the USD on Saturday.
Okay. They've got the 4 teams. That's right.
Yeah. What happened is that we had a team, the early part of the summer had committed to coming back out. And you know how scheduling is in any college sports, anymore. You're 2-3 years out. And to try and fill that spot was extremely challenging to have an 8-team tournament. And really, it was so late in the game, even in the summer prior to, the spring of 2017, to find someone to come in and play. It was nearly impossible. It was impossible. We didn't get anybody to fill that spot. And so it kind of has some quirkiness to it because it's a 7-team tournament. But everybody's getting an opportunity to play 3 games throughout the tournament, and you still have a true champion at the end. So it's exciting.
Mark, I really appreciate your time, man. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Well, hopefully you get a chance to come out to the ballpark, and I can't thank you enough for having me on, and hopefully we can talk a little bit more throughout the season.
Absolutely. Take care, man.
All right, you take care, too. Thanks a lot for having me.
Mark Martinez, San Diego State baseball coach.